Hello, my adorable friends, and welcome to another math video. All right, today we are going to refresh our memories on how to tell time on a clock, and we are going to continue working on counting all of our coins. First things first, though, we need to go grab our Bridges Home Connections book and a pencil. So please hit pause, go grab your Home Connections book, your pencil to write with. We always do math with our pencil so we can erase. Come back when you're ready. Okay, if you're back with me, that tells me you have your book and your pencil. Set those aside for just a minute and then we'll open up the page. I'd like to refresh our memories about telling time on a clock. As a reminder, when we have the two hands, the shorter hand is the hour hand and the longer hand is the minute hand. So let's count on the clock by the hour. So when our hour hand is pointing to the 12, that's 12 o'clock. Say it with me, 12 o'clock. Count with me and keep saying the hours with me as we move down the clock. Ready? Oops. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then finally back to 12 o'clock. Awesome. So when our hour hand is pointing to the 12, that means it's 12 o'clock. And if our minute hand is also pointing to the 12, that's the beginning of the hour, so we say 12 o'clock. But what if I move this minute hand? Sorry, it's a little tricky to get it moved. What if that minute hand is pointing down to the 6? So my hour hand is pointing to the 12, and my minute hand is pointing to the 6. What time is it? Well, we know the hour is going to be 12, so we can write that in, right? But what are we going to write in our minutes? Well, remember, when we're counting by minutes, then we're counting our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each number on the clock represents these 5 minutes. So let's count by 5. Remember, starting at 12, we're at 0 minutes. So we're going to start at 0 and count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So if our hour hand is pointing to the 12 and our minute hand is pointing to the 6, that means the time is 12:30. Good. What about if the hour hand, or I'm sorry, the minute hand stays at the 6, but the hour hand moves to the 2? What time is that? Well, now our hour is going to be 2 o'clock, so we're going to have a 2 here. And our minute will still be 30 minutes because our hour hand is still at that 6. But let's count one more time just to double check. Ready? Starting at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So when our hour hand is pointing to the 2 and our minute hand is pointing to the 6, it is 2:30. What if we have our hour hand pointing to the 5 and our minute hand pointing to the 12? What time is it now? Well, I think we need to erase all that. Oops. That's okay. I'll clean it up later. So if our hour hand is pointing to the 5, what do we write here for our hour? You got it. We write a 5. And if our minute hand is pointing to the 12, that's the beginning of the hour. So how many minutes do we have at the beginning of the hour? Right, 0. So the time when our hour hand is pointing to the 5 and our minute hand is pointing to the 12 is 5 o'clock. Awesome. Okay, hopefully that's a review and everybody remembers that, and we will have a worksheet we'll work on in just a few minutes. Now let's get to talking about some money. I like money. Okay. As a reminder, Mrs. Sae-Wong needs coffee. Pennies are 1 cent. Say that with me. Pennies are 1 cent. So whenever we see a penny, we count it by ones. So let's count how many pennies we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 pennies. Now let's talk about our nickels. As a reminder, nickels are 5 cents. Say that with me. Nickels are 5 cents. So let's count out how many nickels we have. Are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. We have 50 cents in nickels. Finally, as a reminder, dimes are worth 10 cents. Say that with me. Dimes are worth 10 cents. Good. Let's count by tens and see how many dimes we have. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Which means if we have 100 cents, we have $1. 100 cents is the same as $1. Okay? So today we're going to be counting our change. We're going to be graphing and keeping track of how much we have for each coin. So let's grab our home connections book. Okay, we're going to open up our home connections book to page 117. 117. Okay. Everybody a minute to open up their books. Okay, if you need more time, just hit pause and come back when you are ready. First things first, though, at the top of page 117, first we have to stop and put our name at the top. I just like to say that because it rhymes and it helps our brains remember that we always have to write our names on our work. And today's date is 4-27-21. Okay, so on page 117, we are going to answer some questions about Sarah's coin collection. It says, Sarah made a graph about the coins in her piggy bank. So here is the graph of Sarah's piggy bank. We have the dimes, nickels, and pennies. So remember, one more time, our dimes are worth 10 cents. So let's count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. Our nickels are worth 5 cents. So let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Excuse me. And our pennies are worth 1 cent. So let's count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we need to go through and answer all of the questions using the information in our graph. Number 1 says, how many pennies does Sarah have? So here is our pennies column. I need you to count how many pennies there are and write that answer here. Okay, number 2. How many nickels does Sarah have? So you need to answer that question. How many nickels are in her graph? Number 3 asks, which coin does Sarah have the most of? The most meaning that's the highest number. So which coin does Sarah have the most of? And write the name of that coin right here. Okay, number 4. And always, if I'm going too fast, friends, just hit pause. I just keep moving forward because I don't know how quickly or slowly you need me to go, but just hit pause if you need more time. Number 4 asks, which coin does Sarah have the fewest of? The fewest means the lowest number. So which coin does she have the lowest number of? Okay. Number 5. This is a challenge question. I am going to ask you to answer this challenge question today. I want to see if we have got the hang of counting money. It says, count all the money on the graph. How much is there in all? So I want you to count how many dimes, how many nickels, and how many pennies. You can add up each one by itself and then add them, or you can count and count on from each column. But either way, I want you to tell me how much is there in all. Do your best, forget the rest. If you're having a hard time or you're stuck, just give me your best guess. But if this is something that you're just totally stuck on, not getting the hang of it, let me know during our class meeting, and we can talk about this all together, because there might be a way that somebody else counts the money that makes sense to you. But one more time, remember, our dimes we count by tens, our nickels we count by fives, and our pennies we count by ones. So go ahead and hit pause, work on counting all the coins, and give me the total right here. Okay, finally, number 6. It asks, write 3 observations about Sarah's coin collection. An observation is something we see. It's something we notice. So I want you to tell me 3 things you notice. It can be anything. You can tell me which coin has the most, which coin has the least. You can tell me how much we have of each coin. You can tell me if we have one more or one less, but just tell me 3 things you notice about Sarah's coin collection. Give me 3. If you can give me complete sentences, great. If you want to give me 3 facts, that's okay too, but I would love to see complete sentences. So hit pause, work on giving me 3 observations, 3 things that you see on Sarah's chart, and come back when you're ready. All right, my friends, if you're back with me, that tells me you're all done with page 117. So when we're all done with our math video, you're going to head on over to Seesaw and send me a picture. Now let's turn the page. Page 118 is asking us to practice telling time on our clock. Just because it's a new page, let's go ahead and stop and put our name at the top. And the date for 27-21. Okay, so for section number 7, it's asking us to draw lines to connect the clocks that show the same time. So the first one is done for you. The hour hand is between 9 and 10. And remember, when an hour hand is in between 2 numbers, it always goes to the lower number. So in this case, let me zoom in so I know you can see. This case, the hour is going to be 9, and that minute hand is at the 6. And remember, that means there's 30 minutes into the hour. Count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the time on this clock is 9:30. So they drew a line for you to the digital clock that said 9:30. Now what I want you to do, I feel like we can't see that, it's a little blurry, is look at the time for the next 3 clocks and draw lines to the appropriate or the correct digital clock telling the time. So hit pause, work on section 7, come back when you're ready. Okay, if you're back with me, that tells me you have your lines drawn from all of the clocks to the digital clocks. Now for section 8, it is asking us to draw the hour hand and minute hand to match the times below each clock. So this clock says 4:30 on the digital clock, so I want you to draw the hour hands to show 4:30. Then you're going to draw the hour and minute hand for 7 o'clock and the hour and minute hand for 8:30. So go ahead and hit pause, draw the hands on your clock, and come on back when you're ready. All right, if you're back with me, that tells me you're all done working on telling time. So Now what I want you to do is head on over to Seesaw, send me pictures of both pages 117 and 118 so that I know you're getting the hang of counting coins and to show me that you still remember how to tell time on our clocks. And that's it, my friends, for our math today. Thank you for always working so very hard. I will see your adorable faces later. Bye, friends.